In this video, we will see what the funnels module of Framework 360 is and how it works. To access the funnels module, we need to go to the left in the sidebar, and then we will find the funnel option. Once clicked, we can create unlimited sales funnels to convert potential customers into paying customers. But let's start with the concept of a funnel. What is a sales funnel? In marketing, a funnel, which means indeed funnel in English, is the concept of converting potential customers who do not know us into paying customers and then retaining them thanks to indeed a sequence of informative and strategic pages that will lead the visitor who may come from advertising platforms like Facebook, Instagram, Google, TikTok, LinkedIn, etc. from these traffic sources to visit the first step of our funnel. And then, through this sequence, they eventually convert, purchase our product, our service, and then become loyal to our company. This is the concept of a funnel in marketing. But in technical and practical terms, how does a funnel work? Simply as we explained before, once traffic is purchased from Instagram, Google, for example, from YouTube, from all the various traffic sources that we consider suitable for our company, and that can then bring traffic, imagine the people who daily visit Google or visit social platforms like Facebook, Instagram, etc. They see one of our ads, click on it, and at that point, they will end up in the first step of our funnel. As we saw, initially they don't know us, then they start to get to know us with the first step. Eventually, they leave us their information on an opt-in page and then end up on a sales page. A page that allows them to consider our product or service as better than those of the competition. And then buy, thanks to the buy now button. In this sense, any type of CTA can be inserted. Any type of button can be, for example, buy now or purchase the service, etc. based on the tests we conduct during our marketing process. And then eventually, in the third step, do an upsell, that is sell a related product at a higher price than what they have just purchased. At the same time, emails can be sent, for example, SMS, WhatsApp messages, etc. that aim to convince the customer and to remind them of the purchase, to encourage them to continue the process until loyalty or at least until conversion. Exactly. So the funnel is precisely this. From people not knowing us, they start by visiting the first step of the funnel, continue to the second step, then go to the third step, and so on. Based, of course, on the strategy we design at the foundation before starting, obviously with our marketing. What is the difference between a funnel and a website, for example, or a landing page? The landing page, for example, is a page built around a single product or a single service, which also has only one CTA, or at most two, based precisely on the strategy that is implemented. But it ends there. Once people land on the landing page and make a conversion, there is no continuation to a second landing page or a third step. But the process stops there. The website, on the other hand, is different from the funnel as the pages are all linked to each other. Through precisely the classic navigation menu, as we can see, in fact, the Framework 360 site is indeed a website. It is not a funnel because each page is linked to other pages, allowing the visitor coming from advertising platforms to navigate and move from page to page. Eventually, they might even get lost and leave the site. The site, indeed, is more dispersive compared to a funnel. This is why the funnel is important, because it allows for a single action that enables the visitor to understand a single piece of information, and then continue with learning about another piece of information, possibly the price, possibly all the advantages of the product, and then as a single action, indeed, the purchase button, whereas a website might have had the opt-in button along with the button to possibly buy a product. It would have been close, for example, to the subscribe button, to the advertising content. So there you go. This is the concept of a funnel. But now let's dive into the heart of this tutorial and see how the funnels module works to create funnels in Framework 360. Once the theoretical concept is understood, let's put it into practice by clicking on the Create New Funnel button. And in this case, we could, for example, try to build the funnel we saw here in this diagram. First of all, for example, let's give a name to our funnel, which could be product sale, demo. In this case, obviously, for this tutorial, our product will be a demo product, and this single funnel will be aimed at selling this product. We click on Create Funnel, and here we will simply need to go and create. The first step we saw, for example, in this case is the opt-in page. We click here to create a page. Let's call it, for example, opt-in page, but we can also call it step 1. We can give it any name we want. And then we start building our page by clicking on the classic visual builder that is found somewhat within every module in Framework 360. In this case, to speed up the creation of this opt-in page, we can click on the artificial intelligence and then select, for example, squeeze page. We click next, a clear theme, and we click confirm. As we can see, the artificial intelligence will have created a very simple squeeze page for us, which we will need to modify according to our needs. In this case, for example, discover our offer obviously doesn't work. But let's return to the concept of a funnel to understand that if we want, for example, to sell a product, like in this case, a demo product, we will need to add a headline that is a title on this first opt-in page, on this first step, that allows people who have arrived from various advertising channels and who have clicked on our ad to find more or less the same communication they saw in our advertisement. If, for example, in the advertisement on Facebook, Instagram, etc., we wrote that our product solves a specific problem for people. If, for example, our company offers tax consulting services and our product is consulting for LLCs, for instance, and in the advertisement we wrote, do you have a tax problem, such as accounting for an LLC? We have the solution. People, clearly clicking from various advertising platforms, will arrive at our first step where they will find the opportunity to leave their information in exchange for possibly a PDF or a video tutorial that offers a solution to the tax problem we have already proposed in the campaign on advertising platforms. In this case, in fact, we write the solution to your tax problem. Obviously, the more specific we are, the better, but each case is unique. In this tutorial, we need to try to be generic. Below we could write, for example, fill out the following form to receive free content via email. By doing so, we are giving people a reason to provide us with their data. Otherwise, one would clearly say yes. I clicked on the advertisement I saw on social media, but why are you asking for my data? The justification, indeed, would be to provide free content. So what will happen? Once people fill out the form, as we can see from the opt-in page, they need to go to the second step, which in this case is a sales page, but I repeat, each case is unique. And we always recommend creating a well-defined marketing project before operating technically on the platform. So, to move to the second step, to the second page that we will build, in this case, we need to ensure that when they provide their data and click on the immediate free access button, they can proceed to the next step. To do this, we simply go inside. Our content, which can be a form or a button, can be any CTA, and below we find the event on click submit. As we can see, among the actions, there will be go to the previous step, go to the next step, open pop-up, open link, or download file. When people click on the CTA of our first step, they can perform an automatic action. For example, in this case, go to the next step. But if we want to open a pop-up, we could do that, or open an external link, etc. Obviously, we recommend building the funnel, always allowing people to perform a single action. And then we click on go to the next step to have them proceed to the next step. We click on save, here it is. We have built the first step of our funnel. In this case, then, we can click on plus, and here we can create a new page. There you go, done. And in this case, according to this scheme, we will need to build a sales page. Simply, should we make a sales page here? And then, as always, we use artificial intelligence as a base and click on sales page. We click next, clear, confirm. As we can see, the artificial intelligence has created a basic sales page for us, a demo that we should modify according to our needs, and that allows, at a certain point, to purchase our product. As we can see, there is indeed the checkout cart with some images. Demo, obviously, in this case, being a web-themed environment, agency has created content on this type of content. Anyway, indeed here, we will need to modify the page by inserting all our content to allow the visitor who has reached this step to, after having left us their data, to trust and purchase our product or service. We click on save, and as we can see, indeed, after step 1, they automatically leave their data and move to step 2. In this case, we could go to the checkout and, as before, make a selection. In this case, any click after the payment goes to the next step. By doing so, from the first step, we went to the sales page of the second step, and from the second step, it will eventually lead to an upsell and so on. We click on save, but as we have seen, after leaving the data on the opt-in page, we also need to send the customer an email with free content. So, we will need to go to the plus sign between the first and second step and add send email. Here we can set, for example, a subject for the emails, all the various settings such as the sender, and then proceed. And thanks to artificial intelligence, we can create, for example, a base to modify, of course. Then we will add our free content. In this case, we could select a welcome email, for example, and always click on next. Clear. Confirmation, very good. Once the artificial intelligence has generated our email, we will need to modify it. For example, by inserting your free content. Obviously, we write what we prefer. Start your tax adventure, for example. Obviously, we are not conducting a copywriting course here, absolutely, so each email must be considered in relation to one's own business. Here we can delete this part, your LLC. At the next level, once this is done, we should attach. Below, going back from the visual builder, we can attach a file by clicking here. For example, we select a PDF file to attach. It could be our company presentation or a file that should be useful to the visitor. Because let's remember that at this stage, we are in the knowledge phase, so we need to give a useful gift to the people who leave us their data. In the first step, we click select. As we can see, now we will have our first email with our attached file, and then we can click save. Choose whether to send only to newsletter subscribers, obviously, who have accepted the privacy policy or not. In this case, let's leave it selected because the people who arrive at the first step and leave their data must accept the privacy policy. So, in the end, as we can see, we will have the first step that will allow people to land on our opt-in page, leave their data, receive our free tax guide, and then go directly to the final sales page where they can make a purchase. We could obviously then go on to add infinite steps based on how we have designed our funnel. Once finished, we simply click on Update Status and then click Confirm. And as we can see, Framework360 will provide us with the link that we can copy to allow people to access the first step of our funnel. Here it is, in fact. By placing it in an advertising campaign, as in this case, people will land on our first step of the funnel that we have built on Framework360. Obviously then, once they leave their data, they will appear inside the table. All the people who have started the funnel, those who have not completed it, or those who have completed it. By doing so, we will know how many have landed on our first step, how many have left their data, and how many have continued to the final step. This allows us, of course, to perform marketing statistics and optimize our business sales process